share with you who's Mayflower. Has anybody heard of Mayflower? Yes? Who's yes? A couple yeses, right? Majority of you already know, and that's okay, you know? Because Mayflower started back in the 70s, and we are a group tour operator. And what happened in 2018, the owners, Mom and Dad, decide to retire. You know, some of us do that, right? Okay, and Scenic River Cruises, which is Emerald, acquired Mayflower. So they were doing all the river cruises for the Mayflower, and then, not literally the Mayflower, but what we have done is now being part of the Scenic Group. So we have access to all of Scenic's ships, Scenic's cruises, and Scenic tours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give, let's see if it's going to work. Yep. So back in '86 is when Scenic started. So their brief history was there. The gentleman, and thanks to Mr. Maroney, all right, is the fact is all of your gratuities on this tour will be included. Which means when you go out on those tours and excursions, you do not have to worry about tipping. You do not have to worry about tipping the people on the ship. Unless someone does some extra things and you want to, or they've done a stellar job. That's up to you in a personal nature. But we don't have to worry about that. In 2008, as it says, Mayflower started working with, and 18 is now being part of the Scenic Group. But the Scenic family, not only we have river cruises, but we also have yachts. So having all the yachts and all the many different things gives us all the amenities that you come to, and Deanie has come to provide for you, which is the deluxe accommodations, all right? Being able to have, you are on a 5-star ship, you're going to be able to experience all English speaking, you're going to be able to have, yes, your luggage handling will be taken care of on and off the ship for you. All right, along with that, we'll have our professional tour manager. It's actually cruise manager who will be on the tour with you the entire time. All right, you will have a tour manager when you're in prom, but when you're on the ship, you'll have the cruise manager and you'll have an activities director who will be at your discretion of asking all the different things that we may want to do, and not only that, the concierge desk. And the concierge desk is a wealth of information. So we have the local guides. So when we get on the ship, the beauty is we're going to get off to the different ports. So even there in Budapest, all right, we're going to grab our hearing pieces that are in our cabins, and they're like a whisper headset, all right? So you put the earpiece in, plug it in, your local guide's going to talk into your ear. You do not have to worry about huddling around and being able to experience that. You're going to have the opportunity to really experience the destination at a leisure pace. And the beauty about it also is the fact that you will not have 50, all of us in one group. We're going to be broken up in smaller groups. And for those who have, like myself, bad backs, knees, or whatever, no worries, all right? My girlfriend who's Australian, she's really stuck me at the no worries. I say that a lot, so if I say it, I apologize. But no worries, because of the fact of is we even do slow walking tour. Or you don't have to go out that day. So you can sit there and stay on the ship, or just get off the ship and go into the area where we are docked and just experience the local area. So we have all the different things. And then we're going to have our transportation that will take us to and from the airport. And what we have is the thing, I thought that page was on there, my apologies, but we also have what we call as a guaranteed share that we even do on our river cruises, which this is the first time I've ever heard a river cruise offering this. So if you're going and you're not able to find that traveling companion, it's like, oh, my girlfriend just can't go, or, you know, my buddy just can't go with me, but I really want to go, I don't want to pay that single rate. No worries, all right? Because of the fact is you can sign up as a guaranteed share. We'll find you a roommate, of course, of the same gender. All right? And then, yeah, I know, sorry. But I have a gentleman says, I'll pay extra if you'll find me one down. No. All right. So with that being said, is you only pay the double rate. So, or twin rate, however, because some people go, what's twin mean? Well, twin just means 2 in a room, all right? double, or a double. So that's what, double, twin are the same thing as 2 in a room. But you will only pay the rate that is on the far left column. You do not have to add that column on the right if you are a single, unless you want to be a single, all right? Yes, we know there's many who want to be a single, and no worries there, all right? See, I told you I'd say it a lot. But we're going to have the opportunity. So we have travels all over the world. Our yachts are only 100 passengers. They're smaller than the river cruises. We do have a super scenic yacht, and that's 224, which does go down to, actually 220 goes down to Antarctica, all right? Gives you the ability to dock right there in Antarctica and really get out and explore. So, all the different things, we have a lot of things. So, none of my advertising, amazing destination styles, but why we're here is the Danube Explorer. Going to see the Danube is absolutely spectacular. I've had the pleasure of doing and cruising the Danube 3 times, all right? I've done it by land also. But the beauty is yes, why you're here is the favorite of cruising. Being able to do that, we're going to start off in Budapest, and we're going to have our time, and we're going to go right to the ship, all right? We're going to be overnight in Budapest. I like this itinerary because of the fact of is we're going to come in, we'll probably arrive about midday, all right, on into Budapest. We'll go to the ship, and the ship will be ready for us to go to it. Will your cabins be ready? Maybe not, because the people just got off the ship, and the crew is cleaning it. But beauty is we drop all our bags, and we go right in, we step right up to the curtain, and we can explore Buda or Pest on in Budapest. We're going to be able to experience the areas. All right, anyone ever hear of a chimney cake? Ooh, chimney cakes. Chimney cakes are a round cylinder, dry dough, if you will. In Budapest, they fill them with gelato. Or they just put chocolate in it, you know, or they put caramel in it, whatever. So go out and have that, or go out and shop, or go out and explore, and go out and experience, or go to the spa. Beauty about it, they have the wonderful thermal spas there in Budapest that they're known for. So we're going to make our way, and all the little dots are the places where you'll be stopping. And then when we get into Passau, we'll have our time overnight in Passau, and then we'll take the motor coach that will take us on up into Prague. Prague is an area that I call a mini Paris. That's my definition or explanation of it, because it has the arts, it has the culture, but the beauty about it is even the restaurants have English writings on it. You do not have to worry about, oh God, am I going to have a problem with my boss in the back? No worries, okay? So that gives you the opportunity to really explore. So we're going to arrive, and we're coming into the famed area of the parliament that shows in Budapest. All right? You will have an opportunity that we will cruise at night, and you will see this illuminated. I have to say, I probably have at least 50 pictures of this. All right? Because it is the most breathtaking sight, and being able to see the river and everything illuminated at night, you will have that. But riding on into Budapest will give us a chance to be able to have all the famous Hungarian specialties, all right? Whether it's the Hungarian stew that I make here is nothing like the Hungarian stew there, right? Is anyone hungry? All right, literally, right? So we will experience their folklore, and we will have the entertainment that will come on the ship, and we'll really start the festivities and being able to experience that. Really gets a chance to be able to enjoy and explore before we go out and start. But we can explore, as I say, the first day. We will have our welcome night. We will have our dinners, and I'll explain all about the meals and everything that's there. But Budapest, whether Buda and Pest, and the river separating the two, will have a wealth of history. I've had the glory of having one of the guides that I had one time was a gentleman, and his family is the one that helped overthrow communism. So they have Carroll Square, and they have a lot of other things that you will learn about. You will learn about the different depictions, the architecture. You'll learn about the Jewish quarters. You'll learn about the various things on in Budapest. Or you may not, if you don't want to, all right? The beauty is it gives you a wealth of experience to be able to go and explore and experience and go into it. Now, the bad part is on the areas opposite of the Parliament. We used to go up onto the hill, but unfortunately, they have had construction, so the motor coaches can't make it up there anymore. So it is something that we do as an active, so we come across and we have to go up. There's only a small way of being able to get up and to be able to go to Matthias and being able to see different parts of it is really an opportunity. You still can do it, but it's not like we do it with the big group anymore because they can't. Unfortunately, that had changed, so if anybody had heard of it or had done it, that had changed still. But we do have different tours. They're asking, do you have to do the main tour? So at every port, you do have a tour that is included. All right, we have active tours. So if you're a person who wants to go, like to hike, like to bike, no worries. You can do that. And you can have those experiences while the rest of us may stroll around and experience the history. The history that'll come alive and your locals will be absolutely spectacular. So we're going to have different tours that we can have, and the Discover More is, yes, exactly what it means, more. It will cost a little bit more to do that experience. We will send those out to you prior next year, all right, to where you can have the opportunity if you'd like to sign up for them or not, or wait until you're on the ship. It gives you an opportunity to really enjoy the history that is in the different areas and exploring, expanding out from that point. But we will come into the Budapest Center. We will make our way in walking and by bus, both, all right? So it's a combination of how you will explore the city. So being able to explore this vast city and to learn about the different parks and to the different homes and the cathedrals and the different churches and all the things that have evolved through the centuries with there at Budapest. But nothing finer than the people being just wonderful and to do that. Occasionally you'll run across our older generation that don't speak the English, but majority, I've never had any problem. I only came across one person in all the times I've been there that did not speak English, but the next person right next to him did. So that wasn't an issue at all as far as speaking English. So here's our chimney cakes. See the wonderful cylinders? Right? Yum, yum, sorry. Is anybody like an elephant ear? Yeah, it's a little better than that, but especially with what they put inside. So being able to do those are an area, it is a Hungarian tradition, all right, Czech, the Czech tradition, and being able to do the combination of both of them that are slightly different, but it's all the still same style of being able to make it. But wonderful ways to be able to enjoy that. So being able to have our time. So here's an active one. We can do a hike that we take from our ship, we come to the area, and we will hike on up to the hill. So, like I say, if you're a person who likes to be a little more active than taking a standard tour, no worries. All right, again, another thing is the spa experience. Some people say, oh, yes, sign me up, right? We don't take you to the spa, that the first one that my co-workers took me to. Clothing optional. They thought it was funny. Obviously, I didn't have clothing was not big. This one is not big, but there are those out there. So they do have some wonderful spas, and some of the minerals that are in the spas do help different ailments, and they're known for that in the area. So those are the things that are known. And of course, the splendor of being able to see the night glow at night, the bridges, the chain link bridge that is there, along the different things. You have 3 main, you go up to the Parliament, you'll be able to see that. We go out to the extent and just see the illumination and the glow is just absolutely a wonderful piece. And we find everybody is either leaning out their balconies or they're up on the top deck, which accommodates everyone that's on the ship. So being able to see that again, the glow and the splendor of the Parliament is absolutely spectacular, and being able to explore from there. So we do have, as I say, the medieval quarters, so many different history. You're going to find from the arts to the architecture to history to UNESCO World Heritage Sites that will just constantly unfold. You will be on your ship for the entire time while you are in Budapest. The beauty about that, you unpack, and you don't have to worry about it for the next 7 nights. All right? From that, you'll have your breakfast, you'll have your lunches, you'll have your dinners. You will have beer and wine with your lunch and dinner, and it's continuous if you so wish. All right? Then, if you want a cocktail, that is something you can either buy a cocktail package or just buy them as you go. I found most of the time I bought them as I went, and it really wasn't that. My bar bill wasn't bad. I've been on the big ships, and boy, I had a $1,000 bar bill when I was done. No, not the case on these. So, but gives you a chance to be able to explore and experience as we cruise up the Danube. So, we're talking about the ship. What does our cabins look like? The Emerald Staterooms D and E. These are the staterooms, which is the base cabin. There's only a few of them, but they have the window at the top, and I affectionately call them the Swan's View room. Why do I call them that? You ask? It's because there's usually swans swimming by, because your feet are below water. All right? Where the window at is the water, traditionally the water level. Okay? And that's still a spacious room, and still accommodations is quite wonderful, but that isn't. You will find most ports will have swans that will be there, and they come around the boats, and I don't know why, they just tend to hang around the boats, but they do. All right, and you can see as far as the seat. The other part that's lovely about all cabins will have robes, slippers, walking sticks, umbrellas, and yes, hair dryers in them. All right, people ask, do they have irons? No, it is illegal to have irons or anything like of any cruise ship because it is a fire hazard. All right, so those things that you will not see. But as you can see, the spacious accommodation looks a little bigger than that little print that's on your flyer, right? So I never understand because it says a queen size bed. I don't know what European style that they're thinking there because they're two super twins. All right, so what happens is they separate them apart for the two ladies or two gents that want to be in a cabin there. No worries. But when you put it together, that's what my husband and I, because we have both the adjustable ones. Well, mine's a king size. I don't know where they get queen from. But nevertheless, it is still the same. You still have the dressers, you still have the safes, you still have a mini bar that's there, and yes, you have to pay for the mini bar. Okay, but it is there if you so wish. All right, I've taken the mini bar, moved everything aside because it's not one of those ones, if you move them, you get charged for it. Have you been in one of those places? But there, and then I've put my own type of drinks in there. Or I've taken my wine glass from dinner, and a little extra, and then I put it in my thing, and I drank it a little later after I was done. So, being able to enjoy that gives you that opportunity from your basic room. So, from that, now here we're coming up to our, what I've been telling people is our in-cabin balcony. All right? So, as you can see, the in-cabin balcony, you've got the seating, you've got the area that's like a balcony, but you don't have that wall that hits you in the behind end. All right? Or put your knees at that railing that you can barely, you have to sit sideways. This one's showing sideways just because of the convenience of showing it. But what happens here is these windows slide down. So there's a button that you push, and you go zzz, all right? Brings it down to a railing that you can sit on, and then it's all clear glass, still that you get to see in your open air at the top. I have to say I opened mine up numerous of times to be able to enjoy the wonderful weather. I took this tour at the exact same time that you're going on this tour, and I was in short sleeves every day. All right, so comfortable temperatures, being able to open up the windows, being able to explore that. May Lord grant us that. I always wish that for everyone who travels on any tour. But as you can see, the beds being either put together or stepped aside. So we always have the wonderful, spacious bathrooms, which has your showers. All right, has your sink, has your storage area. It has, of course, a bathroom. All right. We were talking about the big cruises. I remember my first big cruise that I went on. I could sit and do everything from the toilet. Do you remember those days? You don't have to worry about that here. Okay? You do have the space to be able to accommodate and to be able to have. The flat screen TV will have your daily itineraries on it. It will have movies. So if you haven't seen a movie lately, there's a lot of different movies that are going to be on the TV for So, and then you have the seating to be able to move there, and you have your side table, and you'll have everything that will be in your closet. So, no worries with that. Being able to accommodate a lot of hangers, a lot of storage. And then you take your suitcase and put it under your bed. And I have to say, these are some of the most comfortable beds that I have ever slept on. I sleep like a baby. With my bed back, I was like, oh my God, I can't. I've probably gone through 8 different mattresses here in the States, and I still haven't found one as comfortable as the beds that I get on these river cruises. So, being able to do that, someone said to me, going, Diane, I was kind of doubting you, and they came back and they go, I don't know what you're saying. All right? So, if that's the case, no worries in that, but it is the comfort that you have. If there's something special that you want in your mini fridge, no worries. Tell your cabin steward, and they'll have it there and accommodate you all the way through. Then we have our grand balconies, and our grand balconies is the category S on that top deck rooms. There you're going to see the cabin, the balcony area is a little bit larger, but also with that, it also has a sliding glass door that you can close off. I have one lady that does this, takes this all the time because her husband gets up super early, so he closes it off so she can sleep, and then he stays out there and enjoys. In the grand balconies, they do have the coffee makers, all right? They do have little extra things and linen service that is included. So it's not only price, but you also get a little extra things that go with the grand balcony. So you still have the showers and everything and the other accommodations that is normal for the bedrooms, but you'll be able to enjoy that. Again, there's that darn queen, all right? So 1-bedroom suites are wonderful because they are the 2 rooms. Being able to accommodate, as you can see, the window that will come down to open to make that balcony. We can close it off if we want that true balcony feel. You can have that. But we also have the room darkening shades. So we have the one shade that will come across that will dull so people can't see in. But we also have the one that will make it completely so it's complete privacy. So either way, because I can't tell you, if those who have never been on a river cruise or those who have, I can't tell you how many I've been on that I've had someone I'm in dock, and occasionally you will tie off, all right? And when you tie off, someone will come into the room and they're changing immediately and forgetting there's a ship right next to you, all right? That's why that privacy screen one works beautiful, because you don't have to worry about it. I have seen some interesting sights over the years, all right? But that's okay, you know, we all love it, you know, it's a body, no worries. But the look of fright on someone's face when they realize that is just funny. So, being able to do this gives you that wonderful accommodation, yes, and you get a little extra services, not only the size, but extra little services that you get in the 1-bedroom suite. And in addition to that, you get to sit at the captain's table for last night. So, being able to do this will give all the amenities that you have, and being able to enjoy that walk-in closet, the shower, everything that you have on the ship. Your crew is all English speaking, even though they're international, and many of them from Ukraine and the Eastern European region, but they are all English speaking and fabulous when it comes to service. So, you'll have the opportunity to experience them. So if you're up on the deck and you want a beer or a cocktail, no worries, you can sit there, read your book, enjoy the sights, walk around. It is a walking deck if you're a person who likes to keep walking. We're talking about cornhole, all right? We even play cornhole up there, all right? We have a little golfing areas, and they have little competitions there. And some of the fun things when we have our times when we are cruising, majority of the time you will be cruising at night, but you do have a couple areas where you'll cruise during the day because you want to see the beautiful sights of where we are cruising through. So, giving us that opportunity again, these lovely little things are in the grand balconies and the owner suites. But wonderful things are also in the dining room, so for those of us, we have red, white, rosé wines, and it is the local wines that we use. There in Europe we get to enjoy, but also from that point, from the coffees and teas and juices and sodas, etc., etc. But on the top, up at the lounge, all right, on the top deck, they always have a lighter fare. So if you do not want to sit in the dining room and you want to just sit up on the top deck And then there's an open area where you can go and sit and enjoy. You can sit up there, but they usually have also a midday, so if you don't go out, or if we happen to be cruising, they're going to have high tea. So they'll have tea, they'll have little sandwiches, they have soups, they have amazing desserts. Alright, I had to try them even though I'm diabetic, but oh well. Alright, so they are wonderful to be able to experience that you can try up there, not only in the dining room, that you can experience. So that is where they're sitting and being able to sit on the front, and that is at the bow of the ship. So, as you can see, we do have a pool. It's an indoor pool that we can make an outdoor pool, alright? We can make it an open air pool if we need to open up the backside, open up the top, and really make it a wonderful for wonderful days. And if not, no worries, we can sit there and enjoy that. But the best part about this pool, at night, we close it off and we make a movie theater out of it. So we capitalize on the space of the ship. So here it is limited seating, but they're wonderful movies. I have done this a couple times. You have the popcorn that they provide for everyone. If you want to bring a cocktail or have them bring you a cocktail, you can do that, or they do have the coffee machine that is in the area that you can sit there and have a coffee and tea, etc. So no worries in those, but you can sit back and relax and enjoy the wonderful movie that they broadcast. And that's not every night, but occasionally they do that. So if you don't get enough exercise while you're walking about on shore, you can go to the workout room. But from that point, we also have, it's not actually a beauty salon, it's actually more of a massage. So if you want to have a masseuse and have a massage, you can sit there and pay to have a massage done. I should swap that. It's an old slide. My apologies, I should have swapped that out. But of course, at the bar and in the lounge area, at the bar region, we have plenty of books, we have plenty of games, we have plenty of things, and we have those fancy coffee makers that makes the little cappuccinos, espressos, all those different things. If you love those kind of coffees, no worries, you don't have to pay for it. You just go get one, right? So being able to experience that is a wonderful thing that is there, and all the different types of teas that are in the region that you get to enjoy. There's the massage one. I gotta take that other slide out. Oops, that one snuck in on me. But you can sit there and have a massage done. They have a wonderful health and wellness person that does yoga in the morning if you want. So we have a variety of things that we can do. So up on the deck, can you enjoy, experience it as we're cruising and making our way. From the different seats, lounge chairs to sling chairs to tables, all different ways of being able to enjoy up there. Now you see how they have the tapestry in the areas to kind of shade the sun if it is, and we have a beautiful day like it is here. But there are, I think there's only one, if I recall, only one bridge that they have to take all that down because it's too low to go under. So there is one day that everything is taken down and they put it back up, so no worries for that. And if we happen to have a chilly day, they actually have bins full of blankets. So we can sit there and have the comfort of everything that you want. You will have one day that you will enjoy all the German flavors, all right? All the different sausages and all of the red cabbage, the sauerkraut, Wiener Schnitzel, all that wonderful stuff you can sit there and enjoy. Sometimes it's on the deck and sometimes it's in the dining room. But as you can see, the Whisper headsets that we have that I was talking about, beauty about it, we don't have to worry about it. I'm a person, even if you're a slow worker, I'm a person who loves to gawk at architecture. So I find myself getting a little behind. Good thing I don't have to miss out on any of the narration of everything about the destination that we have. So then we are setting sail. We're going to arrive on into Bratislava. Bratislava is an area that is just, it'll unfold and marvel you, and it's a mystery. In my south, the old city, we have the old city, and they still have areas that still depict where the communism was. But they have areas where they sit there and you'll be able to see where they've taken the old communism communes, all right, the apartment buildings, and they were the most ugliest things because I saw them before they transformed them. And now they're colorful, they've been all revamped and beautiful into that sense. And they have a fabulous wealth of from wines and food and many things that you'll be able to walk through and being able to enjoy. One of the pictures, like I was trying to tell you, I was trying to put in there. They also have sculptures throughout Bratislava. That one is a gentleman that's leaning over a bench. Another one is a worker that he's leaning on the edge of the sidewalk and he's coming out of a manhole. It is the funniest thing to see. So wonderful sights, different things that we have from the old city and the old town that we'll be able to go and enjoy. And we'll have a walking tour from Slovakia. If you're a beer lover, my husband loved the Slovakian beers. But we get to enjoy all the history that will just unfold from the National Theater, yes, of course, then of course to all the things. Now we do have a hike that will take us up to the castle and from if you want. So it's not a ridiculous hike, but it is a hike, and there is some stairs that you have to do to walk your way up to the castle and going in to see the castle and the grounds and looking out then over Bratislava. You look off to the side, they have all the windmills like we are in some of our areas, and then they have the old town and some of the charm that is there. But making our way back into the heart of the city is another piece that is just really unfold. From going into the art museums and going into the wine cellars was just really a wonderful part. And we do have an optional tour that, yes, it costs a little more if you're into the wines. You can sit there and go out to the wine route and experience the wines. So we also have the wonderful entertainment, the Slovakian entertainment that will come on board, because we are in, of course, late enough that we can enjoy the wonderful richness of their arts and their culture and being able to see their dance and their music. It is just a lot of fun, and there is a seat for everybody in the lounge, so no worries, all right? Then we're going to make our way and we're going to cruise up into the wonderful one of Vienna. Coming into Vienna will give us the vastness of the Habsburgs and the rulerships of the Habsburgs that are around the area. You go out to the main and you go to the Ringstrasse that is around Vienna in the heart of the city is Mozart's park. He has his park, and this is where this picture is from. And I actually saw Arnold Schwarzenegger, believe it or not, outside this park. He happened to be there because he used to be an Austrian in the Austrian military. They were honoring him when I was there the one time. So you never know what you're going to see when you're there, right? And he happened to be walking through there. So it was like, oh, wait a minute here. I thought I was seeing something, but I was. So the Ringstrasse is the wonderful ring that takes us around the heart of, and we do a drive tour that takes us around that. You will see the famed Opera House. You will see the Habsburg Palace. You will see a lot of things that will be there and that we'll have. Of course, the wonderful Opera House, so some people see them on PBS when they are performing here. And then over by the castle is where the Vienna Boys Choir resides. And then not only that, their pastries. Oh, and you're going at the time for some of the most amazing apple strudel. So you will have the opportunity, if you so wish, of either having the wonderful beer and a brunch you can get at one of the local vendors as you're walking through, or go into the bakeries, and there is a Royal Bakery that has absolutely breathtaking apple strudel. So, having that, we'll have the UNESCO World Heritage Sites that will take us to the many sites, and of course the famed St. Stephen's Cathedral. So, we have a chance of the Habsburg Imperial Palace. You will see how the different rulerships of the Habsburgs built their own wing. All right, and it will keep going and keep going. So we'll have that opportunity of learning about that. We'll have, if those who want to go, instead of doing the walking tour, you can do it by bike. So as you can see, we have many different ways. And Discover More gives you a chance to go on into one of the concert halls and get a Viennese concert. Sit right up front, like I did, all right, and watch the dance. Watch them perform, doing their wonderful ballets and wonderful dance, wonderful waltzes, and hearing the fabulous music will perform for you. So it is an opportunity. Yes, it does cost extra to do that, but you will have that opportunity, and yes, you do have your wine intermission and everything that you get to, like you traditionally would around here. So we'll make our way on up into Weissenkirchen, all right, of monks, a lot of things in this region. So you're going to find from their wonderful castles, you're going to see also, learning about along the river is their cemeteries. They can't bury the people below ground, and if they do, they have the plots, and learning about that is kind of fascinating in its own way. So we'll have our time going into the richness of the history and going on into the Wakaw Valley is absolutely beautiful. This is probably one of the areas, yes, we do cruise a little bit during the day because it is absolutely stunning in this region. So being able to come into this part and seeing, of course, some of the ruins and some of the history as we make our way into Melk. Melk is being of its known famous abbey that does sit on the banks of the Danube. Right? We make our docking, and when we make our way on up, we walk on up to the abbey and walk through the abbey. The one thing I love about this time of year, a lot of times, because it does house the school that is there, and the students were practicing their singing. We had choir practice, so you'd come into the entrance area and hear it. So did I have it every time? No, but I've had it 2 out of 3. So may you have it too. It is wonderful, but we'll come on into the abbey, and it's very gilded and it's absolutely breathtaking. Learning it, they have really expanded on it, and they have a historical learning about how they've grown and how the abbey was built and what we're this is the area we were walking through, we were watching, hearing the students sing. So we're going to have that opportunity in the abbey, being able to experience it. Has a wonderful experience in Benedictine. One of our folks did take the name of Benedict, and this is one of the famed sites that you're going to see murals, and you're going to see all the wonderful things that will come alive as you come on into the abbey. Of course, this one being the library, wonderful and spectacular. You're going to see all the different parts and all the gold and all the stuff. The more gold you had in Europe, the wealthier you were. So, having that opportunity, and we'll have the time to be able to make our walk. We do have a couple options for those on this day for a hike, if they so wish, and or biking, and or experiencing the ways of before we make our way over to our next port, which will be Linz, which will be our Český Krumlov. All right, being able to come into this in our Czech Republic is we'll have to coach to the town itself, and it is, as you can see, the river will circumference the old city. We will come in and learn. We will park. The coach will stop. We will make our walking in by kind of like the castle. All right, and then into the heart of the city and learning of everything. Yes, I bought another chimney cake here. So we do have the guidance of this. Will be, and the plus is the walking tour through this area. This is the option out of Linz. This is one of things. So this is the included tour that will take us through the heart of the city. Will make us through the town, from the shopping, the history. And you can walk up. You cannot get lost, because it is circle round, so we tried to get lost. We walked up and it circled us right back into the main square. We walked up and it circled us right back into the main square. So if you're a person who gets lost, don't worry about it. You can take off and wander out the different areas and see all the different history, to going up on top of some of the UNESCO World Heritage buildings and being able to look out and being able to see all the different, a lot of art museums, a lot of book specialty bookstores and things of that is really fascinating. So, of course, the St. Vitus church, being able to do that is right on the bank of the river. You will walk right by that as we make our way into the heart of the city. We do have, though, for those who do not want to go to the Czech Republic, you can go over to Salzburg. And of course, we all know who's famous about Salzburg, right? So we can go in and have the tour. It'll be a full day tour too that will take us on into Salzburg. Actually, in Salzburg, they do have the museum now open that does depict our wonderful girls and all of our singers from where? Yes, Sound of Music. She's going to have to get a treat from me, right? So, from the Sound of Music. So, we have areas you can walk through the areas where the gardens were. You can see. Now, the scene from the cemetery is slightly different there than it was in the movie, but it's still there. All right, you have different parts I have to say, when you walk through the town, if you like pretzels, you're going to see probably 50 different toppings on pretzels in their displays of pretzels. So, but you always have to watch out for the bikes because the bikes are going through of everything that's in that area. But Salzburg is wonderful. If you have not been there, it is definitely a treat to take. It is an extra, an optional cost to go over to Salzburg for those, but many of our people who have been there have always been there, have been there numerous times to Salzburg, don't go back. So we find it's about 50-50. But being able to do this gives us a chance for those who to go south, go on into Salzburg, and having a learning of the history of the sound of music, but not only that, from Mozart, from all the different things that are in the area. So we get a chance to be able to explore and experience, but we will have a time, we have a walking tour in the area of Linz that will give us a chance to do the Linzner's Tort. You will learn and make one, so if you enjoy the cooking, you can have that opportunity to go into that region and learn that option for you. So, we have then, we're going to make our way on up into, we want to make our way up to Passau, Germany. All right, here is an area where two rivers come together, and then the city will split and go out for you. You will have at times where we'll dock, as you can see here, a couple ships that are docked together, they're tied off. Can that happen? Yes. All right, you have various areas. When I was in Vienna, there was 30 ships. Yeah, a lot of people were there. But it didn't seem crowded when we were going through the town. So, but that's the beauty of a big city. But same here with Passau, you're going to have a chance to walk through. I bought, as far as shopping, I bought the dolls and the outfits and the different things that are very German to bring home for all my family members. But having a chance, we will have our walk and our tour will take us along the waterfront and then on into the heart. We'll just make the city come alive. As you're going to see, if you haven't been to Europe and been to this area, like many places around Europe, everything is so clean, all right? As far as when you see a paper or a thing on the floor or on the ground, no. You're not going to see those different things. But you're going to be able to explore. You're going to see wonderful little specialty shops also. I actually went in and bought some incense in here and to pass out, just because it was a place I could find them. I had a hard time. I had to order them online here, but it was nice to go into a shop there. So I went into wine. I went into areas for different types of wines from the region. Went into one of those stores. I went into areas for, just a variety of things. And that was one of going into the areas of Passau. So being able to learn that, your guide will take us for. And like I say, you're going to be in different groups. You can be all in the same at one time or taking different ones. You're going to see different paths going to the areas. The part thing I loved about Passau, and I learned a lot of, is a lot of little gardens, unique. I have a wall of a bunch of different doors from all over the world. So they have some unique doors and some unique paths that, as you can see, that will take us through the different arches and different areas. But not only that, there'll be, is it in this area, in this picture? No, it's in another picture I couldn't get out. But they did flood at one time. People talk about, does it go high, does it go low? This time of year is usually, knock on wood, a great time as far as sailing and being able to get through. But you'll see when they did have their major floods, how high it was up on a lot of these buildings. So you'll see the mountains, and they'll show you that. So all of those, I live on a river, so all of those who do run the risk of, the chance of flooding. But we do have an experience if we want to go and experience more of Bavaria, all right? We do have a region that goes into Bavaria with a very more experience. We also have in the plus in Bavaria when we are there, we go to the countryside, we go out to the locals, all right? We go out and experience the local flavor and flair of Bavaria. That's the beauty about it. Bavaria has a wonderful, I come a little attached to a lot of things in Bavaria because it was one of the areas I first started many years ago going to, and it's just the history and learning about cowbells, learning about all the different things that is in the Bavaria region, its richness of their milks and all the things that they do. So we'll have that opportunity, but if those who want to do that, we can go into the Vestal House and do a hike. I did do this hike, and it is a bit of a hike, right? A bunch of stairs, a little one, and it'll take us on up to the castle, and being able to make our walk and take our way through it, and then you take a leisure way and bringing yourself back down. So it's not terrible, but it is a little bit of a hike that will do take us on up. So then we will have our overnight, we'll have our time, we'll have our chance to go back in and pass out, and then we will then make our way on up to Prague. Prague is a city that is just absolutely fantastic. We are right on the edge of the gates of the old town, which gives us a chance to go into everything of the old city. Whether we're going into Charles Bridge, when we're going over to the astronomical clock that is there, being able to walk, or going outside the bridge, or outside the old walls, then you have the modern city, you have the modern shopping centers, and all those variety of things. So, Prague is just a fascinating city. Yes, we will go across the border, making our way into the Czech Republic here, and we have the old square. Being able to do the old square, you do have two things that are renowned into Prague and into Czech, is the Czech crystal. All right, they have several stores here in the old city for Czech crystal. I bought several pieces of Czech crystal. I bought a box for each one of us back in the day. Believe it or not, I have all but one left because I've acquired all the other ones back because my sister and my mother has passed. So now I have all these vases, but they're absolutely beautiful cuts. But not only that, garnets. So if you know anybody who's into garnets, garnets is another thing that is known for in the area. But again, I did one thing, I did buy myself a Snicker bar, and inside of it, on the Snicker bar, even had English on it. So like I said, it does have the English no matter where we went. So we have a lot of museums, they have a lot of arts, they have a lot of things. Our astronomical clock is there in the main square, and right behind it, and take a little walk is to the Charles Bridge, and you can learn about the history of why, and everyone talks and rubs on it for good luck. You know, you have many of those areas throughout Europe. But in the square, this is the square where they have all the Christmas markets also at Christmas time. But a wonderful park. So across from where this astronomical clock is a crystal factory, or crystal store. All right, the Czech crystal. So I apologize if I offend anybody, but it shocked me because we were in walking the crystal store, and we decided to go out the side door. So we go out the side door, and here's a museum. And they have a display out there, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I look at my girlfriend, and I says, is that what I think it is? Yep. She goes, yep. Sex toy museum. I'm signing up. Let's do it right now. You got a little bit of everything there. So you got from that museum to the arts to everything of that. So I have to say, yeah, it's like, okay, Amsterdam had nothing on that when it compares to that museum. So here you have a chance of a little bit of everything. You can walk behind the back alleys, go to wonderful little eateries, go wonderful things to walk and experience throughout Prague. Prague has so much to offer. Walking leisurely, wonderful little seating. You can go outside, upstairs, and sit at a lounge and watch the people and have a cocktail or have a coffee. A lot of different things that you can do there in Prague. All right? And some people even went to a concert. Some people went to a play. You know, so is there one play? Maybe, maybe not. But it is many different things in the depths that we have. Here's the good old Charles Bridge, learning the history of the Charles Bridge. Hotspurs is another area that has a big hold. They have their castle that is up on the hill on the other side of the river. And we walked over there. It was a long walk, and it was about 1,000 steps to get up to the castle. But we went into the castle, and I have to say, those of us who walked in and went, and the first thing that came to my mind was, honey, I shrunk the kids. Because the walls were so grand and so huge, I felt like I was like this, next to that, inside this castle. But it was spectacular. They had a wonderful church and everything that was there. But nevertheless, all right, we do have the concentration camp, and we do have the Jewish quarters and stuff that are in Prague. They are very interesting. And the other part is, you know, some people come up to me and they say, how are they talking politically? Well, I had a lot of opinions given to me when I was in Prague, but that's all right. It was fun to share. But learning about the concentration camps, and they have been. And for those who saw the video, and for those who have not, I'm going to shut up so you can hear it and see on the cruise. Just imagine being there and walking it, right? My history with almonds. So, into the details. As on the back, you have your top deck, which is your air deck, your top horizon deck, which is your grand balconies, your A's, and one bedroom suites. The disc deck will be B and C. And then we have D's and E's that will be on the Riviera deck. That is with the windows. Our price does show us with our transportation to and from Cleveland Airport. All right. And then we will have the different cabin categories. The single rate and the single room rate is with the individuals. And if you don't want to pay that or don't and are not interested, yes, you can do the guaranteed share. Okay? And then from that point, we will look out. We do have that $400 or early bird special of $200 per person. Okay? $400 couple. And this is only until April, what was it, April, what? Like the 16th. 15th, 16th, I have it on here. Okay, it does require only $400 for your deposit if you are purchasing insurance. All right, and I do highly recommend the insurance. Insurance is $569 for your insurance, but it does cover you before going and anything while you're on tour. It does protect you, all right? As far as once you make that deposit, it is non-refundable. So if you don't purchase, or if you purchase insurance on your own, no worries. You're a person who travels a lot and you buy that annual insurance stuff for every time you travel, no worries, you can do that and then just apply it, just put all that there. But your final payment isn't until June 30th of next year. So giving that gives us plenty of time to budget ourselves for a year and making it well within our areas. But the traveler's protection covers you putting your deposit in and your deposit conditions. So, pre-existing conditions may not be for yourself, but for the person who would cause you to cancel. All right? So, for years, when I was younger and I first started traveling, it's like, okay, it's either the smartest or the worst investment, I always say with insurance, right? But my mother had passed away one time when I was going on a trip, and I had to utilize it. So she was the reason, and she had pre-existing, my father, now my husband, and including myself. So with that being said, pre-existing conditions are waived when you do it at deposit, so that would make it a $996 deposit, all right? Or $969, sorry, would be your deposit requirement that we have. So, for those who are asking, these are the cabins that we have left. At this point, we're going to check to see if we have more, because if everyone in this room signs up, we will sell out. I guarantee it. It's going to sell out anyways, because they all do. And it's, I have people who are trying to get on ships this year, and I'm begging for space. So we have 4 of the grand balconies. There's 4 cabins that we have in our allotment. We have C, 8C, 10Bs, 3Bs, 10Cs, 5Es, and 2Ds, okay? That we have currently left as of last night when I took this, so as of right now. So, these are ones that we have available, so for anyone that is interested, and we do have a lot of questions that came through, and I think I answered some of them. All right, as far as daily excursions and the Discover Moors, you will receive a sheet, all right? Deanie will either mail it or email it, all right? We prefer emailing, right, Deanie? Everyone, as far as the Discover More sheet, and then for those who went, it will have a description of what the Discover Moors are, and the destination and the cost. If you want to purchase it and purchase it, it will give you that opportunity to do so. Do you need a visa? Is no. You need a valid passport, and it has to be valid for 6 months past the date of return. If you have a passport that's going to expire only 3 months from the date you're going to return, guess what? They are not going to let you on that plane. Okay? So, please renew it. If you do not have a passport at the time of signing up, no worries. All right? Because you will get your passport. Once you get it, sign it, come in, have Deanie make a copy, and she will send it to us to make sure that we can just put it with our airline tickets and our things. The price that you see will include your flights, all the things on your ship, which is all your meals, beer and wine with lunch and dinner, all right, and all the other goodies. But cocktails, no. But we will also have our air, our transportation to and from the airport. You will be fully escorted. The only time you will have extras will be when you are in, Prague. All right. Other than that, or the Discover Moors, if you do pre-purchase, you don't have to worry about it. Big question is listening devices will be used on all tours when you get off ship. Okay. So when it comes to hearing aids, what I find most people, including my husband, he takes the hearing aid out of that one ear and puts the hearing piece into that. They are not Bluetooth compatible at this point. All right. So with that, if you do have hearing aids, what you'll do is just not use the hearing aid for that one ear, and then you can put it in your case or your pocket, and then put it back in if you are not using the listening device. Okay? For sure, sailing, I think I said, most of it will be at night. All right? Currency. So, when it comes to currency, most of the times you are going to have euros. But in Hungary, the Hungary forint, all right, is there. I did use it very, very little. 90% of the time I use my credit card. MasterCard and Visa is going to be the most accepted. Once in a great while, you'll find someone that will do American Express. Discover is a U.S. credit card, so you don't see. You do find a few places that have opened up Discover, but don't expect it. All right, MasterCard and Visa. So I always tell people, yes, you have all the different cards now, even credit unions and stuff are doing the no international fees, so check with that. All right, so that's always important. If you have a credit card that goes to like your alumni or something of that nature, check with that. I found out I had one and I was using mine and I realized I was paying the alumni a lump of sum and I was paying the credit card a lump of sum. Sorry alumni, you're not getting anything on my international travels. But with that being said, check on that, but those are the things that you take. I always take, you will have, if you purchase your insurance, you have your insurance, and you have your insurance card. I take 2 credit cards, one as a backup, in case one just stops working for some crazy reason, and my passport. Other than that, I don't worry about it, right? The rest of the stuff stays home, including that big purse. All right, yes, the touring currency. So you've got Czech Republic, you do have the Corona in Czech that they have, and you have the forint in Hungary. The forint right now, I pulled it up, I was kind of curious to see what the price right now at the forint. The forint is for $1 US, you get 366.31 Hungarian monies, okay? So, having that little calculation and calculating it out is always, because you're going to spend thousands of dollars on the little thing. A lot of fun things, and when we will have a departure meeting about 2 weeks prior to going. Here you'll have your documents, you'll know exactly on flights and everything of that prior to going. Along with that, I will make tips and suggestions and things about. We'll talk about how, yes, the currency, or the current electrical current is 220, all right? But if you are only charging a phone or a laptop or a camera, I was trying to think camera. If you are doing any of those, most of those have the conversion built in it, and all you need is the 2 round prong, and I will bring some of those to show what that looks like, and you will have that information, okay? So, you will have that. They do have one plug, but I find it not to work that well. So, grab an international. If you have never traveled international, you buy it once, and it has it for all the countries. All right? You just need, and then I will talk about how I bring a little power strip. I will show how I bring a power strip. I use one plug it in, and then I plug everything else into that power strip. Now you can even buy those online that have a European plug. It's just amazing what Amazon has, you know? So that is what we will have, is we'll have the electrical. It does have a few outlets, one by your side tables and up by the main table on your main desk where your hearing devices will be. All right, as far as our flights, we work with all the major carriers, all right, to take us on this trip. We will book those. As far as upgrades, yes, put us in and let us know for upgrades, all right. Changing seats, what we do is we always request that the seats and the ones next to it. As we all have learned, or those who are learning, is the airlines are now doing crazy things with their seats, charging all the different seats and all the different stuff. So what happens with a group, especially of this size, all right, we will go in and they will give us a block of seats. We will send them the rooming list, and they will assign you in the rooming list. All right? Can it, if you are traveling with someone, you're traveling, usually they're good about putting your traveling companion next to it. Sometimes they're not. And so I have worked night before, rearranging everybody to get there the next day, and they changed it all on me. So, never know, but we do our best to get that to accommodate, so you will be in all different spots on the plane and being able to go over. So we'll do everything we can to accommodate. All right, if we need to adjust, we adjust. Can we change seats? Yes. Can we request? If you have frequent flyer numbers with the airlines, once we know, Dee Dee will let you know what carrier we're on. If we have frequent flyer numbers, yes, you get your miles. In addition to that, if you have global entry or TSA pre, send us the numbers, we put those in too, okay? So we want to make sure. If you have other diabetic, or like myself, or food allergies, let us know those. I've never had any problems. I've had celiac people, I've had gluten-free, I've had people of all types that were on the shifts, and we were able to accommodate, okay? Along with that, if you have a CPAP machine, let us know that, all right? Which leads me to the thing I forgot to note. If you have a guaranteed share criteria is no CPAPs or smoking. So if you sign up for that, those are the requirements, that we have no CPAPs or no smoking. And so if you sign up, you know those are the two elements that your roommate won't have. All right? But those are things that we have. If we have any other specialty needs or mobility issues, let us know that. We'll make sure that they know that and they help assist accommodate. I was talking to one of the ladies here that my brother-in-law was just on a river cruise with us, and he woke up a year ago unable to walk. Has this strange virus that attacked his spinal cord and his legs, and he's minimal, and they were able to help him and accommodate him throughout the whole trip. So those are things that, if anything that comes up, let us know. Let us know that. Write it on your form. If it is a special need or a special request, we do everything we can, and majority of the time we've been able to accommodate. Okay? Balance due, we said, for next year. Can you make interim payments? Yes, you certainly can. All right? What you will do is, once you get your invoice, for those who have already signed up, will receive an invoice. In that invoice, you will see that you will have a 6-digit reference number or booking number. All right? You can go into the Mayflower website, and you can manage your booking by clicking on Manage My Booking, put your name in, put your reference number, and it's going to pull it up and you can make a payment. All right? I'm going on a trip. I just did that for one, made a payment for the trip for my husband and I. You can also go in there and then make final payments. So you don't have to worry about bothering the gals in the office. Of course, they're there to help you.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Bother the gals.
They are there. They don't mind being bothered. All right? We all wear hats that says bother me, don't we? But that's okay. But if you are a person who is very independent and don't want to, no worries. Okay? Because you can go in online and you can make those payments and the final payment when the final payment is due. All right? But if you're a person who is not, no worries, bring it in. If you're a person who sends in checks, no worries again. Bring that in and send the checks. No checks.
It's all credit cards,
All
and
credit
then
cards.
we can work with them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, all right, I'm going to back up there. Sorry. But that's the beauty is you got the extra protection with the credit cards. Any other questions? I think I covered everything. Yes, sir.
Every time we go to a different country, do we have to go through customs?
No, you don't have to go through customs.
One more question, dining, is dining assigned seating?
No, it is not assigned seating. So the dining room is open, you'll have tables, you can sit. So you can sit everybody together at one time, you can sit not, or at the same table, or you can do different tables at different times. But it is not assigned seating. I find people find their favorite waiter, and they tend to go to that same waiter all the time. And they have a section that they do, but that you can do there. I saw another hand.
What's the weather like?
Pardon me?
The weather.
Weather. Typically, you're finding 70s during the day. All right? High 70s. We were in low 80s a few days. And then the evenings were in the 50s, like 56, 58. And we had some days that were like 64. So it's wonderful, comfortable temperatures. I've had capris and short sleeve shirts, and I wore a sweater a couple nights up on the deck. But, we never know with weather. So, but we'll check that out before we go, and we'll talk about that.
Is it just our group going, or is there?
No, there may be others, but we'll see how many of our group will go. All right? We're talking 168 max of people on the ship. Okay? At this point, we are taking half of the ship. Okay? So, with that, we'll find out and we'll know later. Yes? How long of a flight? about 9 hours of flight to get to Hungary. And then Prague, give or take, right around there, 8.5, 9, come back. Yes, sir.
People would come up broken hands, like, where healthcare is an issue.
No, I've not had any problem. If we've had people who have gotten sick or had problems on the thing, on the actual ship itself, we've brought in doctors there, but if it's serious, we get a car and we send you to the hospital. Okay? So if anything does, God forbid, we pray that nobody does, but on the last one I had a gentleman, he was seriously ill, and he was trying even to get on the flight and the pilot wouldn't let him on. And good thing, because he probably wouldn't have made it home. So it was that serious. So those are things that we look at, and if it is serious to the point that we can bring the doctor on, we have that. Otherwise, if it's more than what we would feel the doctor will do, we'll send you to the hospital. Yes, sir.
How long the ride from Passau to Prague?
Passau to Prague is about just over 2 hours.
By bus.
Not bad by bus. And you will cross the border, and a lot of times they have to stop. You have a question?
Two, has the river ever been low enough that they couldn't start at the original departure and then you have to go someplace else because the water level is too low for the long ship?
Passau, no. Nuremberg, yes. So if you ever see people who have Nuremberg, that section from Nuremberg to Passau is where the river is very temperamental, if you will. So Passau, at this time of year, we haven't had too much of a problem, but if there is ever a problem, then what we do is we have 2 ships that are running on the river at the same time. So if it's to a point, the ships come to a point, you swap ships. They're identical, you go back to the same cabin, same crew, they just swap ships. It's just a different ship name. So if that happens, that is there. But has it happened that people have Passau is usually not an issue. It's usually other areas that will cause it for too low, and that is definitely in the Nuremberg area.
Is that because of the time of year that we're going and the river could be low because we possibly may get drought and it's end of the summer?
Yeah, but not, usually that'll happen typically in August, where we find not to have a problem. Knock on wood, like I say, I don't want to jinx anybody. But traditionally in October, everyone I've had go in October is always gone. June is another month that's temperamental.
And how old is the ship? When was it?
Let me remember, the ships are usually right around 2018. Some of them are 2021, I don't remember on this particular ship. I want to say it's probably 2018 that this ship was built. So it is fairly new, okay? Yes?
I know we haven't got the itinerary yet, but do we do an overnight layover anywhere, or is it just
Your
8
flight?
hours on or off on?
Your flight?
No, as we're docking. I know we haven't got the itinerary.
Yeah, you know, what you'll have is an overnight in Passau. You'll have overnight on the ship in Budapest,
Okay,
okay?
and then we can.
So when we are in port, you can go on and off as you want until we set sail, okay? I had one lady, she has people who traditionally are late all the time. So the question she asked me, she goes, what happens? She says usually they have to get themselves to the next port, but most of the time, we ask for a credit, or we ask for a cell number, all right? We ask for that cell number for a couple of reasons. And what if? You have to scan your card, your key card, which goes to your cabin, on and off the ship, every time you get on and every time you get off. So we know who's on and who's not, okay? So if somebody's not on, we've had one ship I was on, we waited, we had to wait, we were probably delayed about 40 minutes because we had to wait for a couple to make their way to the ship. And then if we find someone and they're either lost or they're having problems, they'll send a car to go get you, okay? So they'll help you out every way they can. Just a minute. Yes?
So the new ETIAS permissions to entry for...
Correct. ETIS, that is the new, all of a sudden I drew a blank on the Schnegren visa. visas. Yes, thank you. I apologize. So as far as the standard visa, no, but the Schenegren visa, because it's Austria and they are part of the Schenegren region, yes, you will have to sign for that.
So we
Sign
do
up
that
for that.
ourselves?
It is, pardon me?
We do that ourselves.
You will do that yourselves, correct? You will just go online, it's $7 to sign up for it, okay? And we will provide you with that information. It's not quite ready yet, but it will come up. That's the same with anybody going to England and Scotland. Now they're having one now, okay, that people will have to sign up for. But they are nominal in cost, they last for a couple of years, but they do have them. We will be providing you with that information coming down the pipe when it is available. You can't do it too soon, and it's not worth it to do it too soon, because what if you go then again later? All right, then you'll need it. So just a minute. Any question? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any kind of military discount?
Unfortunately, no. We're giving everybody the $200. But thank you for your service. Military discount. So we do have a service discount for everybody. Yes, question?
Just wondering, is it a direct flight? Do you
Oh, don't I wish. Not out of Cleveland. Unfortunately, not out of Cleveland. You know. You will have, so the likelihood is, it's hard telling exactly where our connection will be. I have to research Cleveland's. I guess worst case scenario, we could always look and see if we do any better out of Detroit. But we'll look at that to see if we got better. Worst case is going to be 2 connections going into Hungary, but usually just 1 connection coming home. Okay? A lot of times we'll go from Cleveland over to maybe New York or us and then on over. Yes?
But they only have to get to Norwalk because we have transportation
Yep.
that gets us to the airport. So no matter where we fly out of, you just have to.
You just come here and we'll take you to the airport. Yes. Deanie has that copy of what's available on the rooms.
Yes.
Yes, Deanie has the copy of what's available. Yes, dear.
Is it 1 night or 2 nights at the end in the hotel?
2 nights in the hotel. 2 nights in Prague. So our first day you'll have half a day in Prague, and then you will have another full day and then fly out the next day. Okay? And I did eat pretzels in Prague too. Don't eat them now. I'm glad I did when I could. Any other questions? Great questions. Thank you for reminding me of the Schnegren visa. My apologies. That's just new.
What if, international travel often gets more risky these days? What happens if the situation was?
We're never going to put you in an unrisk situation, okay? So if it is a scenario that we have to look at, we will always make sure. So do we have to, if anything comes up, we may just do it a different day, okay? Yes? Okay, deposit will be these show world tours. This is for all different types of tours. If you look at the things up at the top. Okay, so it says world tours, then it says price for that. The one that will be on is on the reservation forms. Okay, reservation forms will show $400 for your deposit and $569 for your insurance per person. Again, with anybody who makes their deposit within the next couple of weeks, and with all the people who have already signed up and want to sign up, I am going to go back to the office tonight and send an email to the office to see if I can get more cabins. Because from the interest we have, we will run out of cabins. So if it's something you want, please put that in as soon as possible. Again, put your first choice and second choice. First come, first served on what cabins we have. All right, and along with that, it is that $400 deposit $159 for the insurance for those who have or need insurance. I'll get you, sorry. For what? Yes, I will put that back up. Yes.
So I was asking about the free cruise, the free cruise before flights.
Right.
Is that all arranged?
Yes, we will take care of everything and getting you on into Budapest, getting you to the ship, getting things, and then the people on the ship will help assist you with any place you want to go. Okay, I'm having people who are asking for this. All right, so this is what we're showing currently in inventory, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and see what more I can get, okay? So it gets to a point that we may not. We'll do whatever we can. Okay? Because we knew it was going to be popular, but we are thanking everyone for the excitement. Because I get excited because it is one of my favorite areas to go. Especially Budapest and Prague are two cities that will definitely surprise you. All right, here is Dini. Now, as far as the form, there's two things I want to make quick notes. For those who came in and got a flyer late, there is a switch on day 9 and 10 compared to the original itinerary. The itinerary is subject to change. We do make that if there's ever any issues of docking or whatever, we have to do any changes. That will change only for that reason, okay? That is only because of that. But those are things that you will be informed, and your final documents will have all the accurate information. Please make sure on your form, if you are taking, select, if there's 2 people in a room, put twin, all right? What deck is your first deck, second deck, 1 bed, 2 bed, and if you want insurance. Without insurance, it will delay your reservation.
Thank you so much, Diane. Appreciate you. So we are going to do door prices real quick because you've all been so